Threatening to march on Rome if their demands aren't met, hundreds of farmers and their tractors have been gathering on the outskirts of the Italian capital. Like thousands of farmers across the EU, they want better prices for their produce, more controls on foreign imports and the protection of agricultural fuel subsidies. That as the European Union's executive arm shelved an anti-pesticide proposal Tuesday in what's being seen as a significant concession to the protests. Well, for more, let's bring in our Rome correspondent, Seema Gupta. Hi, Seema. Can you tell us a bit more about these protests? Where are they taking place and what's being threatened?
Well, these farmers are protesting across the country, from the north to the south. They've brought their tractors. They're blocking the access to motorway entry points. In one particular protest, a group of farmers brought a cow right into the Italian financial capital of Milan. So it's across the country, and they're angry about European policies, particularly green regulations, but also about national policies and efforts to increase cheap imports into the country, but also the increased costs to do their agriculture work. Now, they've entered Rome and they say they're going to be surrounding the capital come Thursday. Now, these protests are being organized by essentially grassroots movements within the farmers, not so much by the official main farming lobby of Coldiretti, but it's really a group of farmers throughout the country angry about these policies. They're carrying banners with emotive sort of sayings, things like no farmers, no food, the land is what nourishes the country and not industry. Now, the farmers are also demanding, particularly in Italy, the reinstatement of an income tax break that was put in place in 2017 and has been dropped from the 2024 budget law. And they say they can't survive without those income tax breaks. And so it's really, they want a direct confrontation with the government of Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, with the Agriculture Minister, who happens to be Miss Meloni's brother-in-law. They want to discuss these issues. It's also interesting to note that they have been invited to appear on the stage of the Sanremo Musical Festival. Now, this is a highly watched, very popular music festival here in Italy that's currently going on. And the host of that festival has invited these protesters to come on the stage and to express their opinions. So really putting up the pressure, if you like, on the government by having such a massive platform to express their views.
So you say these farmers want a face-to-face meeting with the government. What about the government's response so far? What sort of concessions, if any, are we seeing?
Well, you saw and you mentioned particularly what Brussels decided to do to pool that planned pesticide cut. Representatives of these farmers have expressed, have welcomed this move. The Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, for her part, said that it was also a victory, particularly for Italy. She said since their government, the right-wing government of her party and her coalition, since they've taken over, the Italian government has been working with Europe, she says, to chart a different path from what's been taken. So they've welcomed this move, saying that it's also a victory for their government. The Deputy Prime Minister and leader of the right-wing League Party, Matteo Salvini, for his part, has said, long live the farmers. He's saying that they've forced Europe to go back on their madness, he said, that has been imposed, he said, by multinationals and the left. So that's what different representatives from the government are saying. But clearly, they're going to be looking to perhaps maybe meet them halfway, particularly on that issue I mentioned about that income tax break. But we'll have to see where they're going to get the money in order to do that. In the meantime, as I mentioned, those tensions increasing with this idea that they're going to be surrounding the capital. They want a meeting with the government on this issue, and they're going to be appearing on that stage, they say, of that Sanremo Musical Festival.
Seema Gupta reporting live there from Rome. Thank you.